Hey guys, it's Gourmet Galaxy. We're going to be doing a dessert. I've had a craving for donuts, so we're going to make some munchkins. We're going to need oil, flour, confectioner's sugar, baking powder, salt, butter, and 1 egg. You kind of want to have everything ready to go so that way you don't have to search around. I have a dish here to make the glaze, because we're going to do glazed munchkins as well as powdered munchkins. So we're going to make the glazed in here, this dish, and over in this one I just put quite a bit of powdered sugar in here to do the powdered sugar, the powdered donuts. I don't have like a cookie rack or cooling rack, so when it's time to glaze the donuts, you do want to put them on a rack and let them drip down. And this is what I came up with. It works great. You're gonna also want a pan. You want about 2 to 3 inches of oil in your pan, a cookie sheet with paper towel so you can soak up the grease. Definitely have a slotted spoon, and we're going to use the plastic wrap to cover the glaze once we're done making that. So we're going to start with, again, there's about 2.5 inches of vegetable oil in there. I did use the rest of what I have just now. So we want to get this heated up to about 350 degrees. So you're just gonna let that heat right on up, let it get nice and hot, and while it's doing that, you can just get everything else ready. You're gonna need, if my recipe didn't just go away, it does recommend having a small ice cream scoop or a cookie scoop, but I don't have that, and it says to have the dough for it at about 1 tablespoon. So I'm just gonna take a 1 tablespoon measuring, and because it will end up expanding as they fry, so we don't want to make them extra large to begin with, because then it'll just be a massive, and it won't be a munchkin, it'll be a donut without the hole. So in this bowl, we're going to be doing 3 tablespoons of milk, okay, there it is. I was gonna say, wait, where's the glaze recipe? For the glaze, we're gonna need confectioner's sugar, vanilla. Where did my vanilla go? Vanilla and milk. So we're gonna start off with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. We want 3.5 tablespoons of whole milk. Okay, so I want you to sift the confection sugar into yourself. And glass. We don't have a sifter, but we can use a fork. So let's go back up to this. We're going to need 1.5 cups of this. And this is the confectioner's sugar. Where is my cup? don't have a sifter, so you just kind of want to gently stir inside the bowl to make sure that there's no clumps and it's kind of like airy. Now we're just going to slowly stir in this milk and vanilla, and then we want to do it stir it until this mixture is smooth. Now if it doesn't seem like it's smooth enough, or thin enough, stir in another tablespoon of milk. So we're just going to get this stirred in. And I'm just going to use a whisk because it's going to be a little bit easier to do. Probably going to do about a little bit more milk, just about 1 more tablespoon. There we go. So then your glaze should look like this, nice, thin. You just want to shake off that whisk. Now what you're going to do is we're going to cover this with the plastic wrap and just set it to the side until we need it later. Now I want to make sure it's fully covered, so I guess that's the end of my saran wrap. So just, man, that's okay. That actually works perfect. So we'll just kind of set it to the side, up out of the way, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. Not really out of mind though. At this point, the oil is getting nice and hot. We're gonna, in a dish, the one that we were originally going to use. I need to get some more dishes. So we're gonna want to do this. What I'll do is the powdered sugar. We'll just put it right here. That again is for when we get ready to do the toppings. Okay. So now we've got all that. You're gonna be, in this bowl, you wanna whisk together the egg and the milk So for this, we're gonna want just 1 cup of milk. And we'll no longer be needing the milk, so you can go ahead and just put that right in the fridge. As I try to go back and forth on the recipe and the instructions, sorry. We're gonna whisk that right on up together, get that good and mixed. Okay, now that's nice and mixed, and before we start on the other part, we're gonna want to get our butter melted. So you're gonna take a 1/4 cup of milk or 1/4 cup of butter and melt it down. We'll put it in for about 30 seconds, go from there. For now, we will set this to the side. We'll just set it right over here. And then in this, we are going to want to do the flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt in here. So we're going to be using 2 cups of flour. Maybe. There we go. That oil is definitely almost ready. So by the time we get done with this, we'll be able to get that right in there. I hate when it starts getting low. Just want to make sure, as always, it's even. Just maybe even tap it down a little bit. And then just spray. This way you know you're getting exact measurement of what you want. Nothing more, nothing less. So we got 1 cup. Again, we just need 2 cups of this, so we'll do it one more time. Perfect. And we won't need the flour anymore either, so we can just get that right out of the way. And we'll just check it off. We will need 2 tablespoons of sugar, not the confectioner's, the regular sugar. We don't want sweet donuts. We just want that as a topping. So 1 and 2. We won't need it anymore, so just go ahead and get it right out of your way. Gives you a little bit more room to cook. What else did I say we needed in here? Baking powder and salt. Okay. So then we're going to need 4.5 teaspoons of baking powder I just got this. For some reason I couldn't find the Arm & Hammer brand, so just went with what I could find. We're gonna do a half a teaspoon first. And then 4 teaspoons. One. I always like to use the edge piece that they have right here. Again, nice even measurement, nothing more, nothing less. We're not gonna need it no more, just get it out of the way. And then we want to do a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna do this over the sink. Right in there. And now at this point, you're done adding ingredients. There's no more ingredients that will need to be added. So we can just get a lot of the stuff, the measuring stuff right out of our way. Again, we don't need it. Why have it cluttering? So now you're gonna whisk your sugar, flour, baking powder, and salt all together. Make sure it's nice and mixed. I just kind of like to spin the bowl sometimes. So first we're going to be stirring in our salt and egg mixture, which we set over here. Now I'm going to slowly add this in. At this point, that oil is definitely ready to go. And then we want to get that butter in there. Now you just want to mix it all until a soft dough forms. So let's see if I use a fork. Again, this is my fork works great. So yeah, we won't need the whisk anymore. This is my first time ever making donuts. So if you do try this, let me know. If it's your first time, we're walking through it together. So at this point, we do have a soft dough-like texture. Let's bring it over to you guys so you guys can see. That's about the consistency you want it to be at. So we'll go ahead and get it right off. Now what I'm going to do, since I don't have the scoop and I can't just scoop it into the oil and drop it in there, we're going to kind of get it measured out, and then we're going to stick it onto the spoon and then stick it into the oil. I feel like at this point it's all going to be a relatively quick process. It looks like do not overcrowd the pan, so only a little bit at a time. We definitely don't want too many at a time, so that way it don't cook. It may not be a perfect circle at all, but that's okay. It's a learning experience, especially if we don't have the cookie spreader. So it's actually not as bad, so I can just whop it in. It's like so. We do got this first one going in here, so. Ooh, okay, oil is a little warm. I'm gonna turn this oil down and let it cool. First, it was a little hot. Alright, so now that the oil is properly cooled down, I'm going to get everything turned on. Listen, it's a learning experience. And while he's going, we'll get some more in there. And again, don't overcrowd the pan. They're not going to be perfectly round shape because we aren't using the cookie scoop, which is okay. And you want to cook it till it's about golden brown on both sides. We're going to start off with 3 real quick, so that way we can kind of see exactly how long it needs to cook by doing a little test on it, opening it up. Nice and golden brown. I'll bring it over to show you once it's off. So we're definitely going to want to keep it in there for a little bit longer. Upon opening it, it is still a little bit doughy on the middle, which is why we always want to perform a test. These 2 were failed. Oil was too hot. We always want to make sure the oil is not too hot, but not too cold. And since those are cooking up, we'll go ahead and drop about 2 more in. It's just a learning process, that's all it is. We're going to go ahead and take out one of the ones that was already in there and just kind of do a small split. And that is perfect. Now for the powdered sugar ones, you are going to want to try to get them into the powdered sugar as soon as possible. We can do a little taste test, but getting them into the powdered sugar as quick as possible ensures that the powdered sugar sticks to it. You just want to use your fingers and roll it around. And then afterwards, we're going to go ahead and stick it inside of the strainer, so that way any excess can kind of be shaken off towards the end once it cools down a little. Again, we're making powdered sugar and glaze. We're doing a little bit of both. Because why not? Everyone loves every kind of dough. Again, we'll worry about getting the excess off later on. So we're going to go ahead and get these two flipped. And while that's doing that, we'll go ahead and get some more going. Cannot wait to try these. And again, don't get frustrated if it's not a perfect circular donut like you're used to. If you don't have that scooping, you have to use a tablespoon. It's okay. Eventually we'll get there. We'll get there with the scoop, and we'll get there together. And then if they do start trying to go into each other, just push them away from each other. Don't allow it. Separate. And at this point, I believe that we are good on seeing how long it would take. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get some more rolled in. So we're gonna do a taste test. If you have any other desserts you'd like, go ahead, let me know. I will try and make them. I do make funnel cakes every now and then, especially when I'm craving them and I don't feel like paying the fair food price. And then towards the end, we'll definitely add some more powdered sugar. Can never go wrong with powdered sugar. Oil up here. I'm not gonna ask. And again, we have the oil at about 5.5. If you have an electric stove, at about 5.5, that's what I found the temperature to be good at. So that way it doesn't overheat it, doesn't underheat it. I definitely know for next time, use a little bit more oil so that way it's fully covered. Otherwise you're standing here stirring them. We'll start setting some to the side to start the glaze as well. Get 5 in here cooking. At this point, this mixer has made 14 donuts, and that's just using the tablespoon measurement, which is not really a bad thing. About a little over a dozen. You don't even have to go to the store. Again, I really cannot wait to try these. They smell amazing. lightning going on outside. It's about to storm again. Welcome to monsoon season in Arizona. Good. So once I get like a really good golden brown color, seems to be the perfect match. So like once you get them to about this color, it's nice golden brown. That's like the perfect color. Hey, you, come here. Come here. Try it powder. How does it taste? He's gonna be my official taste tester. You better tell them that you were just kidding on that. Really?
Little, good. Good. I was gonna say a little doughy, but it's not bad.
It's like a cake donut, kind of. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Okay, good. We're gonna have glazed as well. I just wanted to start on powdered sugar. All right, so we got our first official taste test. I am gonna wait till I am done cooking to actually try one, but I will definitely try one of each while I'm recording so you guys can see how good they are. You see my husband's reaction, so I really can't wait to try them. They smell great. And again, they're not going to be perfectly brown. Do not frustrate yourself over that. If you're not using the scooper, they are not going to be perfectly round. While these ones are cooking, I will show you kind of what I mean. Some of them will be round, but then you'll have some that are weird shaped. And that is okay. Donuts don't have to be perfect. It's a donut. Not everything has to be perfect in life. And a donut is one of those things. After all, donuts are some people's guilty pleasure, right? You really thinking about the shape when you're eating them? I know I'm not. If you're ever curious to make sure that they're done, don't ever be afraid to split one open. Check it out, make sure. If it doesn't look done, then that means that the rest of them might not be there. again, if this is your first time making them, it's all about trial and error. Anything cooking is really a trial and error kind of thing. We'll check out on this guy right here. See how this one looks. Oh yeah, okay. These are perfect. We are getting to about the end of the donut batter. Got a couple more left, it looks like, that we can make. So let's just double check what this says. Well, these ones are cooling, or cooking, I should say. We're gonna start glazing some of these. So we don't want them to cool down fully. We want to make sure that they're still slightly warm. So we'll set that up there. We'll just grab a couple of them. At this point it's set so it's able to move around. We're just gonna grab a couple, start off with. Again, you want to do this on a wire rack so that way it can drip down. Be sure to pay attention to the ones that you do have cooking still. You don't want to overcook any of them. So, let me see if I can switch real quick so that you guys can see me doing this. Like I said, we just get started off with a few. And we're just more. Then we'll leave. We'll do about 12 blades. And then what I am going to do, it doesn't say to do it in the instructions, but I am going to go ahead and kind of mix them all together. Or you can mix them right in the dish. Either way works. This way it starts off. in real quick and then we'll finish up while these are cooking. Finish glazing and sugaring some. And of course, if you don't want any flavorings, you can just do plain. I do plan on trying chocolate ones. I just don't have the espresso powder they need at this time. I will be doing my grocery shopping in about a week. So we'll have that then. So stay tuned for some chocolate donuts. And also, yet again, gotta bring it up, a mystery new recipe that I actually came up with in my head. I was hungry and was thinking of those two things, and I'm now going to try it. And then we dip them. Or put them on bread. We're going to do the rest of them as powder. We got all these ones on this wire rack as the glazed. Now what we're going to do is kind of let them just set and drip them. Maybe this one wants to actually stay. I'm getting it all over myself. Let's check out these guys. This is the powdered one. Powdered one is pretty good. Let's try glazed. They're going to just look simple. Just a simple little glaze over on it. Not the fancy. Just amazing. So if you're craving donuts, be sure to check out the link in the description. It'll take you to this recipe. And these are just amazing, guys. Like, I could probably eat all of these right now to myself. but I think my husband might be a little mad. So again, these are just simple homemade glazed and powdered donuts. The recipe will be posted in the description. If you try to make these at home, let me know how you did. Let me know if it was easy for you or if you found it difficult. I found this actually quite simple for me anyways. It's a little time consuming, but hey, it's donuts. It's worth the wait. What can I say? So this is Gourmet Galaxy. Stay tuned for the next recipe. Have a great night. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and try out these recipes.